All right, here we go. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. All right, here we go. Yeah. Come on, I'm back. I just finished 12 miles, kicked my ass a little bit, so give me a second. Here we go. All right, so we are late July, last week in July as of this recording. It's the last week of July. Football camps are opening up. And as always around this time of year, I get that itch. I want to scratch it. By telling as many football stories as I possibly can. And trust me, if I wanted to, I can make every single story, every single video that I put out there a football story. I don't do that to you guys because I know I got listeners that don't know much about the game of football. And my goal, my whole brand, my framework is all about teaching the tools, teaching the things that we learn on the football field and applying them to businesses. So I don't just stick to football stories. But during this time of year, bear with me because I get that itch. It's all around us. We're starting to see camps forming, starting to see dreams being realized, dreams being taken away, everything, all this ambition, all this hype, even Harbaugh. You know, my team, I'm a Michigan fan. Coach Harbaugh they gave Coach Harbaugh the okie doke with some bullshit, some suspension, and then they wonder why, you know, he goes and interviews for NFL jobs every year and decides he wants to leave the NCAA. But again, today's not about that. I'll save that one. For another day. As far as today's Move Swiftly thoughts, it was freshman year in college. All right, I was a linebacker, played linebacker, and there was a freshman alongside with me, an incoming freshman named Ben Miller. Ben Miller was him. You know, Ben Miller was that guy coming in as an incoming freshman. He was actually starting at one point. He started a few games. It's an incoming freshman, really impressive cat. They knew that he was that dude. They knew that he could play, right? He happened to go down with a hamstring tear. I believe it was like mid-season. He made a great play actually, and he happened to go down with a hamstring tear. Unfortunately, that took him out for the season. Right? Now, the reason he got that starting position was because the linebacker previous to him or before him was a guy named Brian Brown, who was, I believe he was like a 4-year starter there. Yeah, he was 4-year starter, and he was only in a sophomore year. So, you know, it was a big deal because Brian went down with a thumb, and then Ben had stepped in, and then unfortunately he went down with a hamstring injury, right? So I can remember that year, that spring, and this was after I had actually torn my ACL as well. So I was on IR too, you know. That's the nastiness about the game, you know, injuries are real, right? So I remember it was that spring semester. I haven't seen Ben in a while because he was going through his rehab. I'm going through my rehab, and, you know, we kind of go off and do our own thing. So we used to seeing each other, be around each other throughout the summer, you know, throughout the first day of camps, you know, first freshman camp, all that stuff. We were basically popping our cherries in college football together in that linebacker room, in that meeting room, and we had the maniac, Coach Carl Torbush, as our linebackers coach. So I remember catching up with him during the spring semester over lunch, and I was like, hey man, you know, you had it this year. You was gonna be that dude, 4-year starter, Carson Newman, you know, you're gonna get your shot. And I remember telling him, I was like, hey, you know, you took Brian Brown's spot, which is a big deal. I know it's because of injury, but I was giving him his flowers and shit. And then Ben Miller looked at me, he goes, look, I wasn't giving that shit up. I wasn't gonna give that shit up either. And it was crazy. And the reason I'm bringing that to you guys, because you gotta understand, we came in as freshmen, wet behind the ears, you know, just kind of going through the motions and just trying to catch our stride. And it was so great to see how in maybe 6 or 7 months time he had grown and matured and developed the confidence to say, I'm coming to take somebody's spot. And the reason I bring that to your attention is because it's that mentality. The reason I'm telling you that story is because as a player who may be approaching his first year camp, or, you know, maybe someone who's a veteran, I don't know where you are on the depth chart, but the mentality has to be, I ain't giving this shit up. I'm gonna ball out. There's only a certain amount of years I'm gonna be able to do this shit as it is. So I'm gonna put it all on the line, leave it all on the field, and do everything I gotta do. And I got news for you. When you do that and you transition into my world, which is the working world, the corporate world, the business world, the sales world, the marketing world, you will apply those same habits. And when you make that sale and you start to develop that confidence again, you won't give that shit up, all right? For more on what I do, main website, makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. one-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.